I cannot. I physically punished my daughter and she died. I left home in a panic. God, she is allowed at house.
The case of Sara Sharif, a 10-year-old girl from Woking, Surrey, shook the United Kingdom and the world in 2023. Her tragic death exposed severe failures in child protection and brought to light the horrific abuse she suffered at the hands of those meant to care for her. The investigation, international manhunt, and subsequent trial captivated the public, raising serious questions about safeguarding children in vulnerable situations. On August 10, 2023, police were called to a home in Woking, Surrey, where they made a horrifying discovery: the lifeless body of 10-year-old Sara Sharif. The emergency call had been placed from abroad by her father, Sara Sharif, who had fled to Pakistan the day before, along with his wife Beinash Batul and his brother, Faisal Malik. Authorities arrived at the scene to find Sara's body showing extensive signs of injury, suggesting a prolonged period of abuse and neglect.
Just to bear in mind, the mayor has just got contact us, so he's currently driving back to the address. He said he cannot give more details.
Police, hello, anyone in?
He's very hysterical on the phone, they're really struggling.
Yes, it's got an injury in the back.
Josh, you unlock the front door. Police, hello?
The case immediately sparked shock and outrage across the UK and beyond. A post-mortem examination later confirmed the unimaginable extent of Sara's suffering. She had endured over 70 injuries, including fractures, burns, and bruises, some of which were weeks or even months old. The official cause of death was recorded as complications arising from multiple injuries and neglect. Investigators determined that these injuries had been inflicted over a long period, indicating systematic abuse rather than a single violent incident. The evidence pointed to ongoing mistreatment, raising serious questions about how such severe abuse had gone unnoticed. As the investigation unfolded, authorities launched an international manhunt for Sara Sharif and his family members, who had fled to Pakistan before Sara's body was discovered. It quickly became evident that her father, Sara Sharif, her stepmother, Beinash Batul, and her uncle, Faisal Malik, had fled the country just hours before Sara's body was discovered. Flight records confirmed that the trio, along with several of Sara's siblings, had boarded a flight to Islamabad, Pakistan the day before Sara's tragic death was revealed. The fact that they had left the UK in such haste raised immediate suspicions, and authorities feared that the flight was part of an orchestrated attempt to evade justice. After arriving in Pakistan, they went into hiding at the homes of their relatives in an attempt to escape justice. However, as pressure from both Pakistani and British authorities intensified, they were left with no choice but to release a statement.
Along with Sara Sharif and Faisal Shahzad Malik are coming forward and presenting ourselves. There are a couple of things I would like to address. Firstly, I would like to talk about Sara. Sara's death was an incident. Our family in Pakistan are severely affected by all that is going on. They are harassing my extended family. They have also illegally raided many more of my family members' homes. We have already approached our lawyer, and our lawyer is representing us in Rawalpindi High Court. The next court hearing is on 19th September 2023. My main concern is that the Pakistani police will torture or kill us. That is why we have gone into hiding. Lastly, we are willing to cooperate with the UK authorities and fight our case in court.
British authorities contacted Interpol to issue international alerts, hoping to track down the suspects and bring them back to the UK. They also sought the assistance of Pakistani officials, urging them to help in locating and apprehending Sara Sharif, Beinash Batul, and Faisal Malik. Despite the growing international pressure, weeks went by with no news of their whereabouts, and the case began to make headlines worldwide. Sara's extended family members in Pakistan repeatedly denied any knowledge of the suspects, stating that they had not seen the fugitives or heard from them. This denial fueled suspicions and further complicated the investigation. After weeks of relentless efforts, the situation took a major turn on September 12, 2023. Following extensive negotiations and pressure from both British and Pakistani authorities, the three fugitives were located and arrested at Gatwick Airport.
Cheers, mate. Mr. Malik. That would be sir. Which one is your bag?
I don't have any bag.
You have no bag? No. We'll look overhead. Just put your hands together like that, please. I'll explain more outside, okay?
Sorry?
I'll explain more outside, okay? So you confirm no bag?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I promise you don't have any bag.
Just confirm what seat.
Okay. We'll hold for a moment.
Our side of things. The body of Sara Sharif was
So just listen carefully to what I have to say. The body of Sara Sharif was discovered on the 10th of August 2023 at 6 Hammond Road, Horsell. From the injuries sustained by her and the investigation conducted, you are suspected of her murder. You are therefore arrested for the murder of Sara Sharif.
In the UK, Irfan Sharif, Bainash Batul, and Faisal Malik were formally charged with murder and child cruelty. This marked a crucial moment in the case as the justice system prepared to hold those responsible for Sarah's horrific death accountable for their actions. The investigation that followed revealed a disturbing and consistent pattern of abuse and neglect. Over the course of several months leading up to Sara Sharif's death, various witnesses, including neighbors and school staff, came forward with alarming accounts of Sara's deteriorating condition. Concerns had been raised about her well-being long before the tragic events of August 2023, yet no meaningful intervention had been made. Reports from Sara's school painted a haunting picture of a child who had appeared increasingly malnourished and was frequently seen with visible bruises on her body. Despite these warning signs, which should have triggered urgent action from Child Protective Services and law enforcement, Sara remained in the care of her abusive father, stepmother, and uncle. This failure to act added to the heartbreak of Sara's tragic death, leaving many questioning how such blatant abuse could go unnoticed for so long. The trial began in December 2024 at the Old Bailey, one of the UK's most renowned courts. During the proceedings, prosecutors presented a wealth of overwhelming evidence that outlined the extent of the abuse Sara had suffered. Surveillance footage from the family's home, witness testimonies, and detailed medical reports all served as chilling pieces of evidence that told the story of Sara's last months, filled with pain and torment. In an emotionally charged moment during the trial, Irfan Sharif made a partial confession, admitting that he had beaten Sara up too much as a form of punishment, but he denied having intended to kill her. This statement shocked the courtroom, emphasizing the brutal and systematic nature of the abuse Sara had been subjected to. The chilling admission from her father added to the growing sense of horror surrounding her death. The jury deliberated on the evidence, and after careful consideration, they returned a guilty verdict for Irfan Sharif, convicting him of murder. He was sentenced to life imprisonment, with a minimum term of 40 years, ensuring he would spend decades behind bars for the life he took. Bainash Batul, Sharif's wife, was also found guilty of murder and sentenced to life imprisonment with a minimum term of 33 years. Faisal Malik, the uncle, was convicted of causing or allowing the death of a child, and he received a 16-year prison sentence. This verdict brought some measure of justice to Sara's memory, though the scars left by the tragedy would remain with her family and the community forever.
Irfan Sharif, for the murder of Sara Sharif, I sentence you to imprisonment for life. Bainash Batul, for the murder of Sara Sharif, I sentence you to imprisonment for life. Faisal Malik, you've been acquitted by the jury of murder, but you've been found guilty of causing or allowing the death of a child. For the offence of causing or allowing the death of Sara Sharif, I sentence you to imprisonment for 16 years.
Sara's biological mother, Olga Sharif, publicly expressed her grief and anger, stating that she had repeatedly raised concerns about her daughter's welfare but had been ignored. She vowed to campaign for stricter child protection laws to prevent similar tragedies in the future.
Żadna matka nie powinna oglądać takiego czegoś. Miała policzek napuchnięty, z drugiej strony miała siniaki. Do tej pory, jak zamykam oczy, to widzę, jak moje dziecko wyglądało.
To nie była Sara. Całkiem zmieniona. posiniaczona.
The murder of Sara Sharif remains one of the most heartbreaking child abuse cases, exposing deep flaws in the child protection system. Despite multiple warnings, no action was taken, allowing her suffering to continue. Her father, stepmother, and uncle fled but were later captured. While justice was served, her death highlights the urgent need for stronger child safeguarding measures. Sara's legacy must drive reforms to ensure no child endures such horrors again. If you like the content, please like, subscribe, and share the video with others. See you in the next video.